Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. I'm just literally sharing this out. You can hear the fireworks already in the background. I've decided to go live for a bit tonight, as it is, New Year's Eve. We're going to look at the calendar year of 2023 for Doncaster Rovers. We're going to sort of take a look back and review what's been going on this year. The Streamyard link is in the description below. That's already in. So you can come in, share your thoughts. I hope you like the setup as well. The setup, especially the past few videos. Obviously, the arcade one today was a bonus extra. That's a little bit different. But the setup for the way we film the videos now with the StreamYard and the graphics over the top, that's how we're going forward in terms of filming the content in the studio. Anyway, I think on location will be different, but yeah, that's the way we're going to go forward. But yes, I'm literally just sharing the link now to on Twitter. To share it out. Obviously, it's been an eventful 2023 for Doncaster Rovers in many different ways. We've had our ups, don't get me wrong, we've had our ups, but we've definitely had our downs, unfortunately. But yeah, so that's gone out on Twitter now, so that's fine. Let's see if we've got any live comments already. No, we haven't. Right then, so obviously, like I said, a big 2023 in terms of a variety of emotions, a mixture of ups and downs. For me, there's been its moments. Definitely has been the moments. For me, though, I think we are starting to move forward now with a new chairman, with the backing of the manager, from what I've heard in January. With who we might be getting, I think there's some pretty exciting signs. And I think we are starting to build this squad back up again. I definitely feel like we're going to get to a point where it's going to be at a certain point that's going to positively affect us going forward. But yeah, for me personally, for the channel, it's been an eventful year. We're going to go through some of the memories from this year as well. So we were talking a lot about that. Can't wait to talk about all the memories. There's been quite a few. For those of you who already know and have been with the channel for ages, you'll know what we've gone through this year, with what we've experienced this year. And yeah, for me, it's one of them. It's one of them where I look back and think, what a year it's been. For so many different reasons, for so many different things. It's been such a year for so many for us, and yeah, it's definitely, like I said, been eventful. But like I said, we've had our ups, we've had our downs, and we go through everything together as a community. So I can't really complain about anything this year. Obviously, like I said, there has been downs, but when you take the rough with the smooth, you've got to take it. And for me, I think it's been a real plus this year, definitely. Sorry if I'm not looking at the screen right now. I'm literally just finalizing posting on Instagram about the video that's live now. So there we go. Yep, so that's been sent on Instagram. Right then, let's focus on here now. Hello there, Steve. How's the coaching journey going, says Nathan. Brilliant. Obviously, that's one memory from this year. I passed my first official UEFA coaching badge, which I'm really, really proud of. Hopefully, advancing more on that next year. I'm hopefully going to be going down to one of the local non-league clubs, doing a practical session with them, and fingers crossed sort all that out and get the opportunity to earn the chance to do my UEFA C through someone. So there's an exciting opportunity through that. I've got another sports trial going on the 7th. So that's pretty exciting. Can't wait to get started with that one. Put some more thought into my mental fitness rather than just my physical fitness. So I think doing this challenge sports is going to help. Obviously for the channel next year, very, very big year next year. Very, very big year next year. We've got a lot of stuff coming up already. A couple of very, very exciting podcasts potentially in the works, fingers crossed. Yes, potentially some exciting podcasts coming up, fingers crossed, with that one. We've got two potentially very exciting guests, which I'm really, really excited about. One of them is currently a young protege in one of the sports, and the other guest is basically a one of the god tiers at the moment in YouTube and Twitch streaming. So really, really excited about potentially doing these podcasts because we've got, like I said, we've got some potentially exciting guests coming up. So I'm just buzzing with that one. I really, really am. I am going to put the Streamyard link, by the way, at the top of the chat as well, just to help for anyone new coming in. So that's on there now. There we go. I'll send the link as well into all my message chats. So I've just sent the link for him. Hello there. Lovely to see you, mate. How are you? So yeah, so I'll wait for some people to come on. I know some people won't come on because obviously it's New Year's. They might be out and about, having a piss up, having a laugh. But I wanted to use this opportunity while I've got the house to myself tonight to go live for an hour or two and kind of review the year, basically. So, I mean, we're going to have to use our trusty source of information to go back to the 2022-23 season. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm guessing Hartlepool fans might not want to talk about their year. Oh dear. Right. We've got to go through. We've got to go through all the old matches from last season. So let's go right back to the start. 1st of January 2023. That win against Carlisle. Good win for us. Who'd have known that Carlisle would be the club that eventually got rid of Gary McSheffrey? But no. I mean, there was some great memories in January, some really odd ones as well, some really bad ones as well. But there was some decent memories in January. I think getting that Chall trophy was obviously a nice highlight, presented by Dapper. Shout out to 18 Dapper if he's ended up watching this. Obviously, we had Leyton Orient fans giving me banter in the away end. That was class. Take your camera and F off home. There was some lovely chanting going on from the Orient lot. And then we had, I mean, looking through all these as well. I mean, you know, we beat Swindon 2-0 away from home. I got to be pitch side for that one, which I think I probably shouldn't have been. Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened with that one. But yeah, pitch side for that one, do media stuff for the Rovers side against Swindon on that game, and we got the 2-0 win. And yeah, yeah, great celebrations. 2-0 away to Sutton was not a great memory from January. But there was a positive, and that was obviously in kind of bringing Lars from Norway into the vlog and be able to share the channel experience with Lars. So shout out to Lars if he finds this. You were one of my brightest memories in 2023, getting to introduce someone from Norway to a bit more about Doncaster Rovers Football Club in that game. Was obviously a great highlight. Spoiler alert, and this kind of leads in nicely to one of the first things going on in 2024, and people might have seen this if they've seen my tweet in the last couple of days. There is a wonderful guy from America called Tom. He's a St. Louis City supporter over in the MLS. He's coming over for Doncaster Rovers versus Wrexham in April, and he's going to be on the vlog. So stay tuned for that, because we're going to be introducing an American to Doncaster Rovers. He's already got a couple of classic shirts and the classic jacket on the way. So he's already embracing the Doncaster Rovers culture. He means that badge to him. Yeah, so he's already embracing everything Doncaster Rovers at the moment, and yeah, I can't wait to finally get him here to watch a game in Donny in April. So I'm really excited about that. And obviously, with it being Wrexham as well, obviously nothing better than an American watching a team owned by Americans. Hopefully get beat, but we don't know that for sure yet. But no, you know, that brought me on nicely to that upcoming memory in 2024 with Tom coming over. So we are going to have Tom Franklin, aka the Soccer Zombie. Go and subscribe to that channel. I'll put the link in the description now. Actually, I'll put the link in the description actually, or in fact, I will tweet about it and Instagram it, and I'll share that channel about either tonight or tomorrow, because he's a wonderful guy. He's got a great YouTube channel, and yeah, love that guy to bits. So yes, I can't wait for him to come over and experience the Rovers in a way. Obviously, it weren't great towards the end of that season. Just scraped some wins, a couple of wins together, but not a lot at all. I think Colchester, our last home game, was our first win in. My God. You're going back to the 11th of March, and then we went up until the 29th of April without a win. So you can imagine how bad that was. And it ended up costing Danny Schofield the job. I want to make it perfectly clear that if it wasn't for the interest in Grant McCann, if there was no other experienced manager interested, I was one of the ones who was happy to give Schofield the summer and see who he brings in. But I think I'd prefer it now, obviously. But yeah, it was a weird one. It was like, what's going to happen now? I personally didn't expect Schofield to go. I was expecting him to have the season, especially with the statement that came out. But as soon as one of the brightest memories going into this season was the appointment of Grant McCann and bringing him back. Obviously, you know, he's not got a lot of League Two experience, but my God, I mean, that guy's he's just an icon. Even in just the 1 year that he spent with us before. Any plans or thoughts on doing the referee course? That was something that's a couple of people had told me to look at, and I might look at that at some point, to be fair. Has your American mate got 100 million to invest? No, but he's got St. Louis backing him, so we can get the entirety of St. Louis to put together some money. Have we signed that striker yet? Yes, we pretty much have. No one's told me anything or anything like that. No one's said anything to me or anything like that. But whether it's for tomorrow or whatever, I would assume that Connor Carty and Jay McGrath are pretty much signed, sealed, and delivered. I would personally say that, especially with what's been reported. I think that for me, like I said, no one's told me anything, but I know for a fact that Carty and McGrath are pretty much done. Just waiting for an announcement on that. Unless something happens in the U-turn, unless the U-turn of all U-turns happens, I don't expect those two to not sign. I think those two are pretty much done deals, in my opinion. Any plans to record the Nemesis reopening? Absolutely. That's one of my next memories coming up on the 16th of March, the opening day of Alton Towers. I will be there to ride Nemesis Reborn, and I'll be doing a vlog. Even though we're not primarily theme park content anymore, we're all about, the primary content on the channel here is sports media. Sports media could be football, could be basketball, could be anything. The primary content is sports media, but we will be doing other things as well. We'll be going to different attractions across the country, different theme parks across the country. We're going to be going to different events as well. Try different things, work with different people on extra content. We've got the Chall Chats podcast, which, as I said at the start of the stream, got 2 potentially very, very exciting guests to come. So I honestly, I really want to get those 2 signed, sealed, and delivered so we can announce it, because I've been wanting to announce these guys for months, and I mean months. And I think if we can get these 2 over the line, I think you'll be really excited about who we're working with at the start of next year. But yeah, Nemesis Reborn is on my list for sure, 100%. If it wasn't for McCann, I'd have gone for Andy Woodman. See, the thing is, before I knew of any interest from Grant McCann, because I kind of shrugged it off at first and thought it was just all rumor talk, before the genuine reports started to come out that he pretty much signed the contract to be the manager. My top pick when Schofield got sacked was actually the likes of David Artell. And obviously, with his experience building up Crew Alexandra and what he's doing at the moment, trying to rebuild Grimsby, you can understand why. So I would have gone with David Artell. If you go back 2 years when Wellings got sacked, I wanted Pete Wild. When he was still at Halifax, I wanted Pete Wild 100%. But that was back in an era a couple of years ago where we weren't making great football decisions, at least half the time. What would a Rovers theme park ride look like? It often feels like a roller coaster for Doncaster Rovers. It'll be zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. It'll be the zigzag coaster. Get Intamin or Zamperla on it. So that's just a few things coming up. Obviously, we've got 16th of March, Alton Towers opening. Friday, the 1st of March, instead of the 2nd of March. So instead of the 2nd, which, as far as I'm aware, don't quote me on this. In fact, I'm going to look at it now, actually. 2nd of March, we're away at Walsall. I will now, fingers crossed, if all goes to plan, be going to that, because the Friday, the 1st of March, we're at Blackpool Pleasure Beach for the opening day of the season. So we're going to do an opening vlog from Blackpool and Pleasure Beach, and then we're also going to do, hopefully, the 2nd of March game straight afterwards against Walsall away. So I'm going to try and sneak in a few more away games next year, because it's been very, very tough this year. Well, the first half of this season, definitely. I think second half of last season we were pretty much all right, but yeah, it's been a tough one this year. But hopefully, fingers crossed, try and sneak some away games in there. Bradford, hopefully, on my list. I would have gone to Harrogate. I won't lie to you. I would have gone to Harrogate, but I've got that upcoming sports trial on the 7th, so I don't want to risk it. But what I will be doing on the 6th of January is I will be reviewing a couple of FA Cup games. So the Tyne-Wear Derby, that's on my list. Crystal Palace Everton, that's on my list. United versus away at Wigan. I think they're away at Wigan or home at Wigan, one of the two. But anyway, it's Wigan v Man United. That is on my list as well for the FA Cup coverage. So there'll be a lot more match reviews next year. I'm going to hopefully try and get TNT Sports back on my laptop as well. So we're going to review the Champions League knockout stages, try and do some Europa League, some Europa Conference League knockout stage games, try and do some of the more early kickoff Premier League games as well. So we're going to do a whole bunch of game reviews. But like I said, it's not just about football. We are a sports media network primarily. So we're going to be looking at other sports as well. We're going to do some videos in collaboration with some NBA content creators, with some Major League Baseball content creators, with some National League Hockey, in ice hockey content creators, and journalists and things like that. If you guys remember, people might not know this, or people may have not seen it, but we did an interview quite a while back, I think a year or so ago, with a European ice hockey journalist called Matej Daraj about the Champions Hockey League, which is basically ice hockey's version of the Champions League. So we'll hopefully do some more interviews with some European journalists as well and try and get some more people on the show. And these will all form as part of the podcasts. Well, some of them will form part of the podcasts. Others will just be general interviews and just shorter interview videos. Where do you think we will finish? Honestly, if we just finish above 18th this year, that's progress. People might not like that, but at the end of the day, it's progress and it's not where we want to be. But hopefully, in 2-3 years' time, we'll be where we want to be or where we need to be. If the last few years anything to go by, it would have more downs than ups, Nathan. Not sure. I'd like that. Probs underground. Yeah, you'd have to dig quite deep for that one. But there we go. But yeah, like I said, big year coming up next year for the channel. Big, big, big year. There are several things that I want to do next year. Several things I want to do on this channel next year. So many. I mean, there's a million and one opportunities. There's a chance to go and do some work with the NFL Academy in the UK in Loughborough. There's an opportunity to work with the NBA and do some NBA stuff, and with the MLB London series again at the London Stadium in the summer. There's the chance to work with the MLB in Major League Baseball and try and do some stuff for the London series. I think it's the Phillies coming this year. I will double check this. I may go back to my phone every now and then just to double check things because I don't want to get things wrong. But MLB London Series 2024. Yes, so it's the New York Mets against the Philadelphia Phillies. So I will try and get in touch with the MLB and try and sort something out, or try and get in contact and try and do some work for them. So that's something I definitely want to get involved with. Is your JR chat out yet? Apologies if I missed it. Right, this is one of the big things that's been popping up all over my social media over the last week or so. It's in the finishing stages. Literally, the reason why I've not released it yet is because a bunch of the videos that have gone out have taken a bit more of a priority. It's not against John Ryan or anything like that, but there was videos that we had to release at a certain time. I'm not owned by anyone at the moment. I'm not owned by a agency for content creation. But what I do is I stick to a schedule. But if something breaking comes along, in terms of breaking news, match reports, things like that, they become the priority. So it's just been a bit of a hustle trying to get things done at the last minute. And especially with working as well, it just becomes a massive, massive huddle. But yeah, for me, it's just been one of those. So yeah, I'll just send this into one of my other chats. I want to try and get some people on. I want people to come on and share their thoughts on the year as well. So I've sent the StreamYard link over there anyway. Yeah, so that's basically why the JR chat's not been out yet. It's other videos have taken a lot of priority. So hopefully, fingers crossed, get New Year's Day out the way, get the 2nd of January as an opportunity to hopefully finish it off and start the new year right. Finally release it. So hopefully, fingers crossed, 2nd of January, but don't take my word for it because something could pop up at any point. And that's the frustrating thing sometimes with content creation. So, I mean, we've gone through some of the positives and negatives of 2023 for Rovers. We've gone through some of the losses, some of the wins, managerial changes, overall club changes. This year was the year we finally said goodbye to David Blunt as chairman. Big, massive positive reaction to that from the Rovers fans and me included. I thought it was the right decision for the club to move forward overall. I think the summer kind of told that as well. I think he was getting some really good players through the door, and it didn't feel like scraping at the bottom of the barrel. They're on, it's players that are going to be on some decent League Two wages. So, these are players that are going to be part of that first team core going forward. And yeah, for me, it was one of them where we just had to take it. We had to take the window that we've had and roll with it. But yeah, it's like I said, it's seriously, it's been one of them years where anything could happen. You could never predict what was going to happen with us because you could do really good or really, really bad. But yeah, message Tom, see if he wants to come on. By the way, guys, those of you who are new, the Streamyard link is in the top of the chat and it's in the description down below. So if you do want to come on and say something, you can. Any thoughts of players leaving in this window? I will get back to that because I do have my list currently. Thoughts on the current squad needs to go. What type of players do you think will come in? Right. First of all, before I go through the players that I think could go, I'll just say this first of all. On New Year's Day, on the 1st of January 2024, people might have seen that on social media, we are releasing the January transfer window recruitment plan video. And the formula for the recruitment plan videos, what you see in the January one is what the formula will be for January recruitment plan videos going forward. So the way we do it for January is we'll have 3 players in 5 different positions. We'll pick out the 5 positions we need to invest in the most, and we'll pick 3 players. It could be 3 permanents, 3 loans, 2 permanents, 1 loan, 1 permanent, 2 loans. And basically, we're going to have essentially a top 15 for January in terms of potential targets list that I've done the research on. For the summer, we're going to try and double it. So we're going to have, obviously, we're going to have more positions. So we're going to have goalkeeper, left back, right back, centre midfield, left wing, right wing, attacking midfield, striker. So yes, you're essentially going to have 9 positions, and you're going to have a list of 5 in each position. So I mean, you're looking here at a list of 45, and we are also, by the way, going to also include 5 bonus. Well, I think we're looking at the idea of adding 5 bonus or 5 honourable mentions in terms of 5 honourable mentions overall to make up a top 50. So in the summer, you're going to have a top 50 video. In January, you're going to have a top 15. So that's how it's going to work with the recruitment plans going forward, starting tomorrow with January 1. Do we have any injuries coming back soon? Well, Bobby Faulkner's back. Taylor should be back in January as well. Long should be back in January, hopefully. Anderson's fit for tomorrow, which for me, I would rather start the defence that we started on Friday and just give Anderson time on the bench just to see his way in, watch what's happening with Oliver and Bailey, and just watch what's happening basically, and just get Anderson a feel of how our defence is starting to work going forward. Because it's not like Anderson's a bad player; he is a good player. He just ever since that injury at Fleetwood 2 years ago, just hasn't been the same player, and it's been very frustrating. I'm sure it's very frustrating from Tom Anderson's perspective to try and get to the level of where it was. And we saw that frustration on Boxing Day against Tranmere not too long ago. So, I mean, you can get his frustration. Obviously, it's no excuse for poor performances, but you can get why he could be frustrated with the way he's playing at the moment. So yeah, that's where I'm feeling. Obviously, some big football news coming out today, even though it is the New Year's Eve. Obviously, clubs don't stop running. Fleetwood have appointed Charlie Adam as head coach. Hartlepool looking for their new manager following the sacking of John Askey. I put Dino Maria in the hat personally. I thought he was a good option because of his experience getting promotion as part of the coaching setup at Stevenage in that level. And the fact he's just come down from League One, sat by Burton, it'd give him a nice boost to try and go down to that level again and pick himself up and deliver some experience into that team. What do you think of Barnsley's prospect, Fabio Giallo? I'll tell you something now. I was actually tempted to put him in the video tomorrow. I was tempted to write it off as a permanent deal because he's out of contract in the summer, or a loan deal. But I was worried that I'd be called unrealistic if I put him in, because I just generally don't see him leaving Barnsley. I just don't. But if we get him, that would be an absolute bargain of a signing. If it's a loan deal, then great, because he's a top young talent, and I think he needs game time. And I think if you play this formation that we played on Friday a lot more often, or play with that kind of style with the 4-back system that applies wingers to that formation, then you've got yourself a right player there. So for me, I think he'd be a fantastic signing. But he's not one of the wingers that I've got. He isn't. In fact, comment down below, guys. Do you think later in this stream I should reveal one of my categories? Comment down below. Do you think I should reveal one of my categories? In fact, can you do polls on this thing? I'm not too sure if you can do polls on this thing or not. I can't actually remember if you do polls on this thing or not. No, I don't think you do. Just comment down below yes or no whenever you can if you want me to reveal one of my January categories in this stream. And I'll do that later on, definitely. Do you think Georgie Kelly has the potential to win the Ballon d'Or? Mate, Rotherham are bottom of the league, so I don't know why they're shouting. Play hangman with one of your suggestions. That's a good idea, Nathan. That's a good idea. In fact, what I'll do is, while the stream's still going on, I'm going to go into my graphics lab and just use this frame. But what I'll do is I'll play guessing game with one. So let me just pick one name off the list. Trying to think which one's best, to be honest with you. Right, I think I've got one. Right, so I'll just create this. I'll come back to you if you've written any new comments. Don't worry, I'm going to come back to it. I'm just doing this first of all. Right. Right, so that one. Put that up. Put that in the middle there. There we go. Right. Let's just save that as an extra frame. So I've got I'll do 3 hangmans tonight. Why not? I'll do 3 hangmans tonight. That Instagram post is done, so that don't need to be on there anymore. Right. Let's get this hangman on. So this is the first of my players. All I'll say is midfielder. Centre midfielder, obviously. So you can see there, it might not be clear in terms of the gaps, but it might give you an idea as the length of the name. If you can't see the gaps in between, I can tell you it's 6 letters in the first name, 1 letter before the apostrophe, and 4 after the apostrophe. Bang out of order that next year, Papa John's be another 6-0 incoming. Aye. I think if we can get through Wigan on the 16th, we've got an opportunity because statistically, it'll be the first. If we win against Wigan in the round of 16 on the 16th, it will be the furthest we've gone in that competition since we won it in 2007 in Cardiff against Bristol Rovers. Okay, Scott and Nathan have gone for O. I can confirm there is an O. So let's bring it in, shall we? Let me just add the O for you. Don't put any more letters until I've done this. Right. That is where your O is. That is where your O is, just before the apostrophe. Once we revealed it, by the way, if anyone can guess it or reveal it, then I will talk about that player in this stream as well. So yes, stay tuned for that one. An N says BH plays. So if you hear a little noise going off every now and then, it's just me changing the thing here. There we go. There's your N. There is your N. The third of the 4 letters after the apostrophe. So you got your O and you've got your N. If we can get some guests on, I'll try and do a hangman with one of my January window acquisitions with a guest as well. So one of them will be with a guest. Can we get some more guests in the comments down below? Because I really would love some. So for those of you who've just joined, welcome. We are currently playing Hangman to reveal one of my January window players in the recruitment plan. So please get involved. D. I can tell you there is no D. There is no D, Billy. Absolutely no D. I don't want no D. I don't want no D. No D from me. Bit of an NSYNC action there. Chall. But yeah. We've got an S and an A. An S and an A. There is definitely an A, but is there more than one? Stay tuned. Let's see if anyone will start to get it. Well, let's see if there's any. Let's see if there's more than one A. There we go. There is more than one A. Is anyone? I mean, if anyone wants to guess, feel free. There is no S though. There's no S. Can we get some more? I don't want no scrub. Scrub isn't anything. Get no love from me. Sitting in the passenger side of a best friend's ride. Try to all around me. An E. Good guess. Good guess. But is there more than one? Is there any? There's no C, Billy. There's definitely no C. There you are. There's two E's. There's two E's there. So that is an indication. Just delete some of these other frames that are going on backstage. Yeah, so guys, if you are new here, then please do hit the Streamyard link at the top of the chat or in the description below. I want to get some guests on. I want to get some guests. A B. There is no B. There is definitely no B. I don't want no B, 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 B. What am I doing? Oh, I don't know what's up with me tonight. I'm just hyper. I think I'm just hyper. Add a couple of new tags in there, see if we can get some get some get ready to preview the MK Dons game as well. We've had a guess. We have had a guess in the comment section. But have you guessed right? Hey, you got it. You got it, Nathan. It was, of course, Taylor O'Kane. I think people are starting to get it now. Yep, Taylor O'Kane from AFC Fylde, 18 years old, permanent deal, defensive midfielder, centre midfielder, tenacious, physical, does the simple stuff well. He is one of my centre midfielders on my list. We've got a permanent on there. At least one permanent. Question is, will there be another permanent on that centre midfield position? Then stay tuned for January the 1st because the transfer video will be coming out. I think I've set it for about midday tomorrow. So midday tomorrow you'll be seeing the January transfer video pop up on screen, and it's been set as a premiere as well. So all you lot on the way to the Rovers game can interact in the live chat. So stay tuned for that one. Really excited to release that one. Like I said, the formula for the January videos are going to be top 15. Summer will be a top 45 with a 5 bonus honorable mentions list. So, that whole idea behind the 5 honorable mentions for the summer transfer videos is to have this kind of like list of 5 players that were just on the edge of making it, but were just tipped by another player or a similar type of player, or just one trait about them just didn't seem right for the club or whatever. So, I'm gonna be pretty ruthless though. I'm gonna have I think in the summer I'm planning to have like a long list of 250 players to cut down to a top 45 with the 5 honorable mentions, so a top 50 realistically. So I'm gonna be getting rid of 200. I might have the 5 honorable mentions, but I'm going to getting rid of 200 players off that list. So summer's going to be an absolute mental, absolutely mental. Summer's going to be absolutely mental. But January was a little easier because we had I think in the end we had a long list of 100 players and we got it down. No, in fact, sorry, not 100 quite. I think it was something like 80. I think we got it down to an 80. And then cut that 80 players down to a top 15, basically. And with it being 5 different positions as well, I mean, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. So you're looking at 13 players in each position. No, sorry, hang on. No, I'm being thick here. I'm being absolutely thick. Right, this is where me failing at maths came into play. 80 divided by 5, so 16 per position. So we did have to cut a lot down in January in the space of about 3 weeks, but for me, it's I love doing it. The opportunity to do it is just remarkable. I think the work to be done is stupendous. So I'm like I said, I'm fully focused in getting getting January nailed down to a T and getting the players down. Like I said, I think Connor Carty's pretty much done. I'd suggest that Jay McGrath's done as well. From my point of view, from my perspective, I wouldn't call it for definite, but I definitely suggest that both those transfers are, I would suggest, done. I wouldn't argue against those two being announced either tomorrow or in the first week or two of the window. Being brutally honest, but there we go. Right, let's get my normal frame back. Like I say, if you do want to come on and share your thoughts, then please come backstage. If you haven't already, we've been online 46 minutes already. Yeah, so there we go. Hey, super chats. Big up the super chat. Tim donated a couple of quid. Thank you very much. Anything big planned for the channel in 2024? We've got lots planned. We've got lots planned, which I'm going to go on about now. Do you use WeScout? I don't. I have been sent a few things via WeScout by some good friends of mine. But yeah, mainly I use Transfer Market. I use news reports and character references for players' personalities and how they fit around the personality and the morale of the club. I'll use analysis websites, analysis reports on social media from journalists and analytics, etc. For the statistical side. But I'll use a variety of things. I'll use the sources that are just as good as the paying thing, if you get what I mean. So something just as good as paying for it, I will use. So things like Transfer Market, stats websites, analytics reports, things like that you see on social media for some players. So for me, I'm using the best I can with the budget that I've got to work with to scout these players. Like I said, I've said this numerous times with these recruitment videos. People can say, "Oh, why are you even bothering, Charlie? You're not even a scout." I know I'm not a scout. I do it because I love it. I do it because I love doing it. And it gives me something to do. And to be fair, and to all to any haters out there that hate me doing the recruitment videos, I've had respect from players and managers for doing it myself. I've had recruitment analytics being respectful. I've been told that I've done more work than some clubs' recruitment teams, so I'm doing something right. Yeah, so back to Tim's super chat. Anything big planned on the channel in 2024? Right. So obviously the rest of the 2023-24 season will be up on the channel. We're going to be reviewing as many games as possible for Doncaster Rovers. We're going to be taking you through step by step of the January transfer window. We're going to be doing the full summer video as well. I'm aiming for the summer transfer recruitment plan video to go out on the 1st of July. Potentially, I might put it out on my birthday on the 28th of June. I'm not too sure yet. I'm going to have to research the opening and closing of the window this year in the summer and really just go from there. I am going to go back to that original comment earlier about like who should I keep and who should go, etc. And my list currently is who should stay and who should go. Some might be controversial, some might be a bit on and off, but I can only say what I see and just be brutally honest. In terms of other stuff, we spoke earlier about Blackpool Pleasure Beach on the 1st of March. We spoke about Alton Towers opening day on the 16th of March. Thorpe Park for the opening of Hyperia, the UK's tallest and fastest coaster. We're going to do a video from Thorpe Park. We're going to do a video from loads of other different places. Doncaster Fear Factory 2024, 5 years of fear in October. It's right towards the back end of the year, but I'm still counting down the days. York Maze Hell Scream, again, another event that I get invited to every single year for the past few years. So big shout out to both Fear Factory and Hell Scream for their amazing work. And thanks for keep bringing me along to review these things, because I love reviewing these things, as you know. So that'll be there in October. Trying to do a few more Halloween events during October as well, Scarefest, things like that. Because like I said, we're primarily a sports media network, but we will vlog other things. We will try and do other things on this channel. So still a lot coming. Fair play, mate. Do what makes you happy. Thank you very much, Scott. Much appreciated. And I hope to see as much of you there as possible. tomorrow for the game against MK Dons. Right then. Hopefully, I want to try and get some guests on. I want to get some guests on. I really want to get some guests on. I want some people to come on and share their thoughts. I'm going to check my messages actually just to see if anyone's replied. I want some replies, please. Seems like it's all kicking off in Hartlepool. I think Hartlepool's really kicked off. But yeah. Like I said, I've got a lot of things coming up in the year. So there's a lot of things that I still can't reveal, which are still in the works. Like I said, the next two podcast guests I can't reveal yet because one, they're both still in the works. We're still trying to get the final yes or no. But two, they are very, very, very exciting, and I just can't wait to interview these guys. From a personal perspective, I just can't wait to interview these guys. But from a channel perspective, this could blow the channel up beautifully. Having these guys on the show could really bring some notice to the channel and really get it out there. So I'm praying and keeping everything crossed that these two guests get signed, sealed, delivered, and recorded because I'm just cannot wait. Absolutely cannot wait. And I'll be definitely recording those 100,000,000%. Let's go back on some memories from this year. We're going to sort of look at personal memories now. Hopefully 2024 are better for Rovers. Absolutely. I think everything's sort of prepping us ready for 2024. So I'm hoping it's going to be a bigger and better year, 100,000,000%. Obviously, Fantasy Island was another big memory this year. I just loved every second of that. Loved every single second of that. Getting involved in that, reviewing that. Hopefully back to Fantasy Island next year as well. So stay tuned. Hopefully from a video from that. If you haven't checked it out already, go and check out the arcade video. I loved doing that. Shout out to Fun Station in Sheffield at Meadowhall for allowing me to do that. And literally spend 100 arcade points and get to and spend as many arcade points as possible within the arcade. It was beautiful fun. And for those of you who haven't seen the video yet, check it out because I never been more proud of an edit. In terms of a funny skit-like entertainment edit, loved every second. Absolutely loved every second. Just going back through some of my other memories from this year. When's your transfer target video out? It is out tomorrow at midday, the 1st of January, the first day of 2024. It will be out midday on the 1st of January 2024. So that is your official kind of date, your official day release, should we say. Just trying to look through now, just looking through all of my posts on Insta with some memories. I will like obviously turn my thing around and show you them when I've got them. I'm literally I'm scrolling all the way back to the start of the year on this thing. I'm like halfway through already. I'm halfway through. Okay, I'm near the start now. I think I'm near the start. I hope so anyway. Is this January? Yeah, hard work starts again. Oh no, that's potential summer targets. Right, okay, so I am near the start now. Okay, there we go. Obviously, I started by posting about my. Thank you very much for the fresh 2 Alex, much appreciated. I started by posting some of my 2022 memories. So I had the photo with Pie Face, Story about Pieface. Great, great, great guy. And again, someone I really want to do a podcast with because he's just legend. Sunderland, Stadium of Light. Again, big memories of Rovers fan. Telling 40,000 Sunderland fans, is there a fire drill on Jermaine Defoe's return day, winning 2-1 with Tommy Rowe and Rio Griffiths scoring. Man, Rio Griffiths. I mean, who'd have known? Who'd have known? If you'd have told me the day he scored, if you'd have told me after he scored against Sunderland in League One, while we're in a relegation battle, you were thinking, and I told you that give it a year and he'd be released. I might not have believed you. I might not have believed you one bit. Right, this photo is very, very important to me. And the reason why is because these lads are just the nicest bunch of lads you could ever hope to meet. Jack Silkstone, arch nemesis, Kieran, Isaac, all of them, every single one of them are just the nicest guys you could ever hope to meet. Just the best, just the absolute best. Cheltenham away, the scoreline, not a great memory, but it was good to be a part of that away day still. That's a very important photo for me, especially with what goes on today in the world. Hashtag Her Game Too. Shout out to Her Game Too with the work they do. That's another organization I would love to do a video with next year. Her Game Too, and do a video around Her Game Too. That would just be just class video to make. This right here. This was a lifetime football fan's dream come true. The ability to meet, greet, and do a walk and talk interview with Paolo Di Canio. Not everyone can say that. It's one of those things that you just can't take away from someone, no matter how hard you try. You can't take away my memory of walking with Paolo Di Canio, interviewing Paolo Di Canio, meeting Paolo Di Canio, and spending time with Paolo Di Canio. You can't take that memory away. Shout out to Di Canio if he's watching this. I hope he's watching this. But yeah, that's just one of the best memories I've ever had in my life. Gary McSheffrey, really, really, really feel bad about the way that ended because I think he was just an absolute gem of a man. And he deserved more time as manager, in my opinion. I will say on here right now, and no context, Charles probably watching this and might clip it up. I apologise for turning on Gary McSheffrey at the Carlisle away game. And if Steve Ayres watching this, I apologise to him as well. I apologise for turning on those group of players at that defeat against Carlisle United. Yes, the result wasn't acceptable, but I wanted to give Gary McSheffrey... I wish I could have given Gary McSheffrey more time. If I look back on that now and look how the season ended that season, I would have given Gary McSheffrey more time, 100 million %. 100 million %. Outside sick in its opening year at Flamingo Land. We were there the day after or 2 days after it officially opened to the public, and that was just wonderful ride experience. Great addition to the UK. Blundell Park away, Grimsby, 3-1 win under Schofield. One of the big memories from last season. Just one of the positives out of last season. And, being in that away end. I mean, I can't really recreate it much with my voice at the minute, but it was like, lays it off, Niall, yeah! And just the emotion pouring out of me that day was just absolutely unmistakable. I mate, you okay? Brothers! I am doing great, man. I'm just going through some of the memories from last year and then going through some of the memories from this year as we head into 2024 and talking about some of the channel's plans for next year as well. We've been talking all the way through them about what's coming up. So I'm going to recap that in a bit. But yeah, hope you're well, brothers. Streamyard links in the chat if you want to pop on for a bit. I'd love the company. I'd love the guests. As many as possible, please. And then finally, me dressed as Santa. Now that was a pretty nice moment because I loved every second of that. Right then, let's go through memories. Memories of 2023 for me personally in the channel, and I'll share them with you here. First big one, New Year's Day, getting that Chall trophy out of nowhere. That was pretty big memory. I do expect, I mean, I'm expecting one at some point for this year now. So it's less of a surprise, but I'm going to be more surprised about how it's going to look this year if I end up getting it. So yeah, but that was a complete surprise. Came out of nowhere. Didn't expect it one bit. I just got a text saying, meet me outside the players' entrance from Dapper. And there we go. And a guy called Kevin, who I know is not very much into like the vlogging and stuff like that. Nice guy, but not much into the vlogging, etc. But he was actually using my camcorder to film it, and he never usually gets involved with the vlogging and stuff like that. We just talk about it, you know, just at any point. So to get him involved in it as well was just amazing. It was just brilliant. Oh crap! Are you going to Harrogate? I'd love to. Don't get me wrong, I would love to, but I've got a feeling this year I might be missing out because financially it's just very, very tough at the moment. But I am going to make up for it by covering the Timeware Derby in the FA Cup. So I'm going to do some coverage on the day, just not Donny Harrogate. But I will be listening out for it. Don't worry. I'm going to watch the game back the day after and give it a proper review. We were on a downward spiral on the McSheffrey even before Carlisle. The look at the start of the season had run out and the performances were poor. But I still think we were in a strong position. We're in a stronger position than we finished. I don't know. I still apologise for the way I turned it again at the Carlisle game. If it was the correct decision to get rid of him, but wrong appointment in Schofield. I get that. I just feel bad for turning on him against Carlisle because I felt like I backed him all this way, and I spoke to Steve numerous times about backing him all the way and things like that. And I've had disagreements with fans throughout that first 6 months about the way it should be going. I mean, there was a complete divide in the fan base at that point. There was a divide of McSheffrey in or out. Felt a bit like Ten Hag in and out at United at the minute, but yeah, it was a real divide. But no, I personally apologise for how I turned on him against Carlisle. Even though the result was poor, I should have probably backed him to do better. Let's find some more memories on here. Let's find some more memories. Brisbane Road, Leighton Orient, class away fan base. I spoke about this earlier in the stream. That was the video where I got bantered by the home fans. That was just an absolute. It was a brilliant day. Getting bantered by the home fans, and then to see two people in the terraces next to the stand in the block of flats watching as well. For those of you who haven't watched that video, go and check it out. In fact, shall we do a watch along of the Leighton Orient vlog at some point tonight? Drop a comment down below if you want me to do that. So yeah, that was a big one. Right, this one was I'd argue this is my favorite memory of this year. I'll go on the right photo just so I've got a right, there we go. Oh no, I'll swap hands and do it this way. That is me on BBC Breakfast in January. That was a pretty special moment. It was about the closing of the Ultimate Lightwater Valley. I was a bit of a theme park nerd, so they found me like the right person to take it on and be a part of that. But yeah, I mean, to be a part of that and to get that experience, I'm not going to go through all the details of the day, but I'll sort of go through a bit of a personal anecdote. So get your coat, get your popcorn, sit back and listen. So I guess, and bearing in mind, first of all, can I just say I didn't sign a contract to say I wouldn't be talking about this, so I'm not going to get in trouble. So it kind of began the day before, really, where I get this call. Now, I will be completely honest with you guys. Firstly, at first, when I heard someone say, "Oh, we're doing this segment on BBC, and would you be interested?" I'm not going to lie. At first, I thought it was someone who got my number from somewhere and prank called me, because I'll be honest with you guys, I've had to block several phone numbers from little idiots in the Rovers fan. Well, I don't call them Rovers fans, but little idiots that seem to think prank calling me and calling me up and talking about different things and then saying something ridiculously bad down the phone to force me to hang up. At first I just thought, oh no, this could be another one of those calls. But then I heard it a lot more, and it sounded a lot more better. So I listened and things like that, and I said I'd talk to my family, get their word on it, and then send all the details across, and wait for another call, basically, to see what was happening. And then we got the call; it was happening. Family were in the room listening, and it was all sorted. And literally, bearing in mind, I got that call about 4 or 5 hours before. I was now packing an overnight bag, ready to take the train to Salford, or train to Sheffield and the train to Salford. In fact, no, hang on, it was a direct train, actually. It was a Transpennine Express, direct to Manchester Piccadilly, and then a taxi booked from Piccadilly to the Holiday Inn round the in Manchester, in the Salford area, which is only a few minutes away from the Media City Centre, from the Media City UK bit. And I would stay in the Holiday Inn for the night. And can I just say, shout out to Holiday Inn in Salford. They were fantastic. They dealt with it brilliantly. And fair play to the BBC for paying for the entire visit as well. So the transport, the train tickets, the hotel, everything paid for by the BBC. So shout out to the BBC for that, because they're just, gods. So I was staying in this Holiday Inn overnight, and Holiday Inn was lovely, lovely, lovely room. It was my own room as well. It was a nice cozy little room, one of the best in the hotel. Just lovely, just absolutely lovely. There's some wonderful facilities there as well. And then it came to the day after, where we did the day of the interview, and I was traveling to Media City UK. I went into one building first of all, which was like CBeebies and a few other things for production and programming, and they sent me over to another building, which, by the way, and I just got the photo to prove it, is that building they sent me to. That's the building they sent me to. So that right there, if ever, is a shot of this is where I want to be in, say, 5-10 years' time. Standing there with Jermaine Genius, Gary Lineker, Ian Wright, Gabby Logan, and Alan Shearer. Jermaine Genius, Gary Lineker, Alex Scott, Ian Wright, Gabby Logan, and Alan Shearer. That is a shot I want to be a part of in 5-10 years' time. So I go along to the second building, and again, just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. Everyone around the place was friendly, warm, nice. And then, just before I go on air, actually, I meet one of the main presenters in the BBC, and it's this lovely guy here, Mike Bushell. You'll know him from BBC Breakfast. You'll know him from BBC Sport. Some of you will know him from Strictly Come Dancing as well. Just a wonderful, wonderful guy. And I had a wonderful chat with him for a few minutes, and he was great to chat to, great to learn from as well. I think he follows me still on Twitter, actually. I'm not too sure. I might be wrong about that. If I'm wrong, I apologize. I think he definitely follows me on Instagram. Definitely follows me on Instagram, because I've seen it. Yes, he does. He follows me on Twitter. There we go. And I literally just noticed now, I didn't have enough, I had more following than followers, so I couldn't follow many people back. Right, I'll have to make a sacrifice. I have to make a sacrifice. Right, I'll sacrifice Ellie Brooke. Sorry, Ellie Brooke. That's still not enough. I still need to unfollow a couple of people. Oh, this is torture. I'm having to do this live on air. Because I want to follow him back live on air. Swerve Strickland. Sorry, Swerve. You're a great wrestler, but I'm going to have to unfollow you. Christian, you're a heel. I don't know why I'm following a heel. Congrats on winning that TNT title back. Yeah, so that's me now following Mike Bushell back on Twitter. Shout out to Mike there. So Mike was fantastic. And then it came to being on air and getting mic'd up, getting ready to go on air. And bearing in mind, I was sat not too far away from Naga and Charlie. And again, both of them were just fantastic. They allow, by the way, the 2 photos that you saw on set, in fact, there was only one that I showed you actually. That one and that one, they were both taken by, I can't remember the name. I can't remember which department they worked in, but they were taken by one of the BBC Breakfast production team members. They offered to do it. Very, very nice of them. Shout out to them because they've been lovely all day with me. And yeah, and then it happened and I was buzzing about it. I thought I did all right. And yeah, and then made the train journey back after packing my stuff at the hotel back there. So yeah, so it was a real big experience. It was one of my first big TV experiences. Very, very nerve-wracking. But yeah, it was a wonderful, wonderful day and a wonderful memory out of the year. Looking through my memories, again, another big one being on BBC Radio York, talking about the same thing. Again, shout out to everyone at BBC Radio York. They were amazing. That was a nice memory for the studio. Adding that third light, the big light, the ring light, and now we had the light box. And I'm still using the camcorder, by the way. I'm just waiting for like outdoor location because all the studio stuff will now be on StreamYard. So that's how it's going to work. Just some match day stuff on here. Happy New Year! Out of context, Chal, another fantastic memory from this year. Shout out to you, he, she, they, whoever you are. Again, they've been banging out some wonderful content this year on social media, and yeah, one more time. But yeah, just going back through some more memories. Did some fitness at Flip Out when I worked there the first time. Basically the story is I worked there for about 8-9 months. Worked at Gulliver's for a couple of months, worked at a shop for a month, and then I've gone back to Flip Out now. Basically, short story. Right. Another big memory. Swindon away, pitch side. Huge memory. Again, that was just a real positive learning curve. Don't get me wrong. I've had experiences where they've not gone amazing and it's been a learning curve. And you know what? I like learning curves. You know, the York game against Rochdale, I'm not too sure if York City were quite happy with me at full time doing the fist bumps with Rochdale. But at the end of the day, I was channeling the inner football fan and, you know, giving that crowd some excitement. But York lost. I get it. But moments like that give me learning curves. Moments like that give me learning curves, and it's learning curves what make you a better reporter and a better presenter. So I learned from it, but I was having a good time either way. I'm on the John Smith. I might grab one later on stream, actually. Drink responsibly, gamble responsibly, drink responsibly. This one, I guess you'd call it a sad memory in a way. This was when the commentator John Motson passed away back in February, end of February. The reason why I picked that one out is because I approached John, I think it was a month or two before he passed, to get him on the show. He couldn't do it, unfortunately, which is fair enough. But there was one particular line in his reply that gave me confidence and gave me like this willingness and this belief that I could succeed in sports media and media in general. And I wrote it on the post, actually. You can see it there with the photo of John Motson. The first line of the post is, "I wish you every success." That's what John said to me in the email. And I never forget that. I never forget that. I don't want to bring a downer on the show, but I never forget that memory. I still grieve for John because he's a legendary commentator, legendary reporter, and he's someone who I wanted to live up to be. So, you know, he having that having someone like John Motson write to you, "I wish you every success." I mean, that's just the kindness that comes out of that. Just it enthralls your heart. And then when you learn a couple of months later, then he passes away. It's those kind of words that you kind of just take with you forever. It's like some of the people that I did open all hours with in 2013. Linda Barron and Barry Chuckle, they're two people I think of every single minute of every single day, because those two people gave me the confidence to keep going and acting, even as a 13-year-old kid. So, you know, John's a pretty special person, and we lost a great in the football industry. Right, let's stop with the sadness now. Let's move on. First theme park trip of 2023, Alton Towers, great memory. Right, now this one, it is in my room, it's in my studio, but that was some wonderful work by Phoenix Joinery, a local company that do some remarkable work and DIY construction and building some stuff. And they built me that Rovers wall, and I wanted to promote their company and promote what they do. So yeah, it was great. This right here was part of the editing process for my video with St. Louis City podcast. Great guys over there. Still keep in contact with them every day, or as much as I can. And yeah, again, they were just brilliant. Winning League Two Blogger of the Year last season. This was before I joined Lower League Local, what's now known as Look Sports Media. I loved every second of that. Loved every second of that. And it just, that was a lovely memory. That was a lovely award to win. And I really felt pride from that. Really felt pride. Let's go through some more. Let's try and find some more memories throughout the year. Emily versus Maltby Main in the Challenge Cup, doing a video from that. That was always a great memory. Eves Trust. Shout out to Eves Trust, because they do wonderful matches. They do some wonderful charity matches. We've got 2024 coming next year. It's a replay of Doncaster versus Liverpool legends and fundraisers. So I really can't wait for that and to do some more work with them on that. And then not too long after that, we had this. Meeting one of the greatest modern day goalkeepers in Premier League history, Petr Cech. I also met Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, but I didn't get a photo with Aubameyang because his bodyguards needed him to go. So I couldn't quite get the photo with Aubameyang, but it was still a great guy to speak to. I also actually, just before the game, I actually also saw Badiashile for Chelsea as well. And then we go to that. My first ever game at Stamford Bridge. That was a memory I will take with me for the rest of my life. Meeting a Rovers legend, Kerry Dixon, former Chelsea legend as well. And that's it. You know you've made it when Chall Chats branding hits Stamford Bridge. Yeah, so the story about that, and there's just a few like different shots of Stamford Bridge. So you got a few different shots there of Stamford Bridge. Yeah. One of the stand there. And one of the other stands. So the story behind that, and again, I won't go too much into detail about this because I don't think it's my place. Excuse me. But the story behind this is, in short, they needed a cameraman for Chelsea Fan TV for the fan cams. For those of you who don't know who Chelsea Fan TV are, they're a wonderful channel, wonderful fan channel. Shout out to them for doing the work. Sorry for the suffering they're going through this season. But yeah, wonderful, wonderful guys over at Chelsea Fan TV. Lewis, Alex, Matt, Jay, Father, young Jacob. I mean, they're all wonderful on Chelsea Fan TV. They need the cameraman to do the fan cams after the game and things like that. And, you know, they kindly had a spare ticket as well to get into the ground. They're amazing. Just amazing, amazing people. And it gave me a really good memory to end the season. It was when Rovers season had already finished. So they gave me a wonderful memory for the season. I mean, I couldn't thank them enough. I really, really couldn't. Let's go into the comment section quickly. What's your opinion on tomorrow's game? It's going to be a hard one. I will do a full preview in just a second. I'm just going to finish off the memories of this year and then look ahead to MK Dons tomorrow. But I'm going to speak more about it. I think in short, for now, what I'll say is in short, if we don't turn up the right way and set up the right way, if McCann doesn't set us up the right way, we could get demolished. But we have to be careful of how we set up. We have to set up the same as Friday, in my opinion. Right then, back to memories. The old Pleasure Island. It was sad seeing that one because I felt like that place had massive potential. And we were also in Mablethorpe in the same day. So I had a wonderful day there. The day I got my microphone, which only took a month or two before never existing again. Funny how life changes, isn't it? That doesn't end up happening anymore. Pre-season, what a memory. Being on the pitch next to the Rovers media guys and the photographers, being near the dugouts. Yeah, just wonderful. It was wonderful doing all of that. I had a wonderful haircut in Sheffield. Loved it. Absolutely loved it at the time. I was doing a full day of filming that day as well. I was at Hillsborough doing some filming for the pre-season against Sheffield. Hi, Beth. Hope you're doing well, mate. Happy New Year. The Port Vale fixture, I met Cisco Munoz. I met Port Vale manager Andy Crosby. Then this one was a big one. This one was a huge memory. Stocksbridge, pre-season against United Manchester. And that was special because of the fact that I got to interview the chairman of the club and I got to experience seeing Jamie Vardy's shirt in the chairman's room. I mean, that again, just a fantastic memory. And I saw all the old team photo books the chairman's got in his office, including the young Jamie Vardy in the squads, and it was such a flashback, such a real flashback to days gone by. And yeah, I mean, from where Vardy's come from that is just unsurpassable. And Stocksbridge were a really underrated football club. This again was just another highlight. It was a very rainy day when I arrived. There's a fear of it getting called off, but Gig Lane for the very first time. And bearing in mind, can I just say, by the way, I was going to be there when Bury were scheduled to play Doncaster before they got kicked out of the Football League. I was scheduled to go, but we didn't get the chance then. And then I finally, after a couple of years, finally got the chance to go to Gig Lane and cover the game against Sheraton. So again, shout out to Bury for having me there and being part of the media coverage of that game. Loved every second of it. This, though, was probably one of my biggest memories of the season. Interviewing Nigel Clough at Mansfield's training ground. I loved every second of that interview, and working with the guys at Mansfield Town was just unsurpassable. Absolutely unsurpassable. Yes, we were playing them straight after, but it was about the interview for me. And it wasn't about Rovers v Mansfield on that day. It was about the interview. And to get that experience of speaking to Nigel Clough, learning from Nigel Clough, learning from the Mansfield media department as well, and learning that side of it a bit more, because it gave me a bit more knowledge and perspective on the industry. So that was a crucial day. Chal Vardy, hey Danny, any managerial jobs coming up in the new year for you? I'll tell you something now. I would love to get involved in the coaching setups in the academy or whatever at teams like Rosso or Armthorpe or even Doncaster City. You know, I think Doncaster City have got some good coaches. Stocksbridge also have an old Simon Marple shirt in there. They do. I was just about to remember that. But yeah, they absolutely do. So interviewing Nigel Clough was a big one. Reuniting with man like John Bostock. Again, that was just an unsurpassable moment on a personal level because, and I'll tell you something now about John Bostock, and I say this with confidence about John Bostock. He's just one of the nicest guys. One of the nicest guys. Yes, it wasn't great the way it kind of finished up at Rovers, but I can't blame him one single second. He had to go. He had to take the better offer, be nearer to his family. I can fully understand it, and I don't hold any grudge against that. And this is a funny story, right? And I got told this at Rosso in pre-season. I think it was either by John or by Richie or both of them. I can't remember. It was definitely John, but I think Richie might have said it as well. I can't remember much. But yeah, it was pre-season when Richie Wellens took charge as manager in League One. And we played Rosso. And it turns out the videos from the previous season, you know, Darren Moore, the Andy Butler season, some of the lads were watching it in the dressing room. So Jason Lakilo, John Bostock, a few of the others. And it really gave me that kind of like perspective at that time. Because at that time, I was just starting off with the content. It was only a year or two into it. And it gave me like this perspective where it was like they actually pay attention to some things. Like I was just speaking to Fal the other day, Mo Fal. And, you know, I can't wait to see him there tomorrow and shake hands with him again. Because, you know, that guy's just a legend off the pitch, as well as being on it as well. But yeah, to find out that some of the players were watching my videos in the dressing room just added some perspective for me. Like, it gave me a bit of, like, uplift. Like, they actually pay attention to the things I'm saying. But that moment was crucial because it kind of gave me perspective of what to say and what not to say or how to word it. And it gave me perspective on how to do the content, because if they're watching it, they're going to listen to what you're saying. So you've got to be really constructive here. And, you know, I get fans' anger when we lose and we're on losing streaks and people might want managers gone and things like that. But the reason why I do it the way I do it, and I don't completely slag off anyone, and the way I don't slag off any of the players or anything like that, the reason why I don't go completely, the reason why I don't do the kind of content that Expressions does for Spurs, and I love Expressions. Expressions I've spoken to a few times, and he's a wonderful, wonderful guy, great content creator, a lot of energy. I find him absolutely hilarious. But I don't do the same kind of content that he does because mine's more constructive in terms of the things that we need to improve on. You know, Expressions is known for great humor, telling it how it is, and just being absolutely hilarious person on and off camera. And he does have some wonderful points. You know, when in all the anger and the analogies and the way he behaves on and off camera, which is just, he's a funny guy. He's a wonderful guy and a funny guy. my style is more constructive than that, and it's more report based and sports media based. And there's different styles that all work in the same form. It doesn't matter whether you do it constructive or you do it as an entertainment video. You still make the same points. You just do it in different ways, and you get similar views, or you'll get difference of views anyway. But you're all part of the same medium, and you are all part of the same medium. You do it in your own way, which makes you unique. That's what makes expressions unique, different, and I love it. And the constructive stuff is what makes this channel unique and different, and I love doing it. So, yeah, I mean, learning that the players were listening to the videos in the dressing room just gave me that big boost and that real perspective, though, as well, as if, okay, they're listening to this. I'm going to have to, word it in a certain way that makes it sound constructive and hope the players take it as feedback from a fan's perspective. The city is red, Chall. Of course it's red. It'll always be red. Even if I was a coach for Doncaster City, even if I was manager of Doncaster City, the city will always be red. So reuniting with Bostock was obviously a big memory. York versus Rochdale. Wow. It was great to get to York Stadium. Obviously, I've spoken about that before. Obviously, like I said, that was a big learning curve for me as to how to treat it as a proper presenter and a professional reporter. Reuniting with Grant McCann. Again, that's another one from the start of the season. Frank Sinclair. Love this man to pieces. Absolutely love this man to pieces. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. Legend. Never a bad word to say about him. Danny Schofield. I know some people have strong feelings about him as a manager. I feel sorry for him, and I'm glad he's doing well in Australia at the moment with Mark Jackson, who used to be at MK Dons, and I love Danny Schofield to bits, and I generally wish him the best, the very, very best. Bogues, Omar Bogle. Omar Bogle, baby. Omar, again, great guy, just a wonderful human being. Brian Flynn, legend, part of that 2013 promotion. Just again, another wonderful guy. Looking back through, just had my lawn done in the backyard. Traveling to Wrexham, that was another big moment. Doing the other stuff. I did well taking that photo, didn't I? This was another huge highlight, interviewing the owner of Gillingham Football Club. And that was one of the memories actually from the York game that I loved as well, interviewing the manager of Rochdale, interviewing Rochdale's manager and York's manager at the time, Michael Mellon, as well. Not Michael Mellon, sorry. Michael Morton. Interviewing both managers and then going on and interviewing the owner of Gillingham, Brad Gallinson, who, by the way, lovely human being. Him and his wife are just lovely people. The whole family are just lovely. So shout out to the Gallinsons if they're watching this. But yeah, interviewing Brad, interviewing Jim McNulty, Michael Morton in the space of a month or so was just unsurpassable experience. A lot of experience coming my way. And then the child kind of took a bit of a dive, and the main reason was doing the coaching course. The first one, the intro to coaching through UEFA, and that was just again a wonderful moment. York Mace Hallis Scream and Doncaster Fear Factory this year for Halloween was just again unsurpassable moments. I shared a bit more with some of my coaching influences and the people who influenced me in my coaching journey as well, and how I approach going into coaching, etc. Again, I spoke about Mo Fowl, wonderful human being. Losing Sir Bobby Charlton was a massive negative. He was just this presence in the world that we all wish we still had. Still think of him every day. I know people liked this decision, but saying goodbye to Rio as well. He gave us that memory at Sunderland with the goal, and we never looked back. Dorney Park, Public Relations and Communications Manager. Again, lovely, lovely, lovely. Celebrating 10 years since doing Open All Hours. That was just, again, unsurpassable. Peterborough in the FA Cup, great memory despite the loss. Doing the video with the gal, doing the arcade video. And then we're up to the present day where the memories start off with the January video tomorrow. But yeah, a lot of memories to go through. A lot of memories to go through. Where's the John Smiths, Chal? Like I said, I might grab one later. I'm not too sure. We have to compare our celeb selfies, Chal. Absolutely, 100%. As far as I'm aware, Danny, you've got a hell of a lot more than I have, and much better ones than I have. But no, I still love every single one that I took. I love every single person I met. Where are you sat? I'm currently in front of the doorway to my kitchen. So I'm currently on my dining table. It's going to be a big year next year, particularly because, you know, there might be different locations that we're going to be recording in, stuff like that. So that we've got some exciting content coming up next year, recording in different places. So I'm looking forward to that. Right, I might end it in about 7 minutes. Or no, in fact, about 4 minutes. Let's get it on the dot to 1 hour 40. We didn't get any guests on tonight, which obviously is a shame, but I think people are out, so I kind of expected it. I kind of expected it, to be honest. Don't end it, Shell. It's getting, my voice is getting croaky, and I want to try and save it for midnight. So I'm gonna, and to be fair, I don't want to take you guys away from your celebrations for New Year. So I kind of want to let you guys celebrate the rest of the time we've got this year. Will you record in your bedroom next year? Well, yeah. If you look, with some of the videos that have been online recently, obviously apart from the arcade video, if you look at the video recorded reviewing Arsenal's calendar year with a gal, shout out to a gal. With that one and with the daily reports, the match reviews, all the stuff on the other platforms as well. They would, I think all the videos, I think the majority of the videos for the last few months, few months, were done using StreamYard, but filmed in the bedroom, aka studio. Kind of call it like a studio bedroom, because half of it's bedroom and half of it's studio at the moment. But the long-term dream is to be in a place or turn one of the current rooms in this current place into a proper studio space where we record all the videos. So that's the plan, well, the dream plan going forward. But for now, it's kind of half bedroom, half studio for now. All depends what happens next year as well. No spoilers. I'm sure Daniel will go on as a guest. If you want to come on, use the StreamYard link and pop on, because I'd love to speak to some more people. My family are next door, enjoying with the neighbours, brothers out, so it's just me on my own up until around about midnight. So I do feel kind of lonely. Obviously, I'm still single. Obviously, I'm a weirdo. I love it. I love being a single weirdo. But yeah, it's another lonely one this year. Last year I was on my own on New Year's anyway. So, obviously being alone the second year in a row is obviously no different to last year. But I thought I'd just make the time up by enjoying myself with you guys, so I don't feel as alone. But yeah, it'd be nice to get a relationship next year, but I don't know. I think I've got so much stuff going on. I generally just don't want to focus on that at the moment. So I'm not really, up for it. If it comes, it comes. If it happens, it happens. I'm not going to force it. I'm just going to let it happen and just see where things go next year and going forward as well, obviously. But yes, we've pretty much covered everything. I guess there's only one more thing to say, and that's just thank you guys. Just thank you for the year. There's been ups, there's been downs. It's been wonderful sharing this experience with you guys that are watching right now, those who are not watching now but have been watching throughout the year. In fact, as we come up towards midnight, let's go through the final channel analytics for the year. So views for 365 days is just over 70,000. That is unbelievable, guys. Thank you very, very much. In fact, 2023, yeah, 70,000, just over 70,000. So thank you guys so much for that. Lifetime-wise, we are 7K away from 400,000 total views, which would be unbelievable to hit on this channel at some point. Subscribers in 2023, we gained nearly 370 new ones. So thank you very much. Yeah, it's just been a mad one this year. I'm not going to go through revenue because that's private. The Chall Chats podcast is just getting started. For those who have just joined, obviously we're ending soon. I'm so sorry about this. But what I will say is, again, we've got two very, very exciting guests that are literally on the brink, fingers crossed, of being accepted onto the podcast at the start of the year. The John Ryan episode of the Chall Chats podcast will be out in the new year as well. Hopefully, we'll get it done in the first month. Well, we should be getting it done in the first month. Like I said, hopefully I'll be finishing off the edit on the 2nd of January or trying to get it up on the 2nd of January. Fingers crossed the John Ryan episode will be up by then. But we just don't know. Like I said, some videos take more of a priority when things pop up and news pops up and things like that. Plenty more trips coming. Hopefully some trips abroad next year. Fingers crossed. So yeah, so we've got a lot of stuff potentially coming next year, and it's just going to be just this mad year. It's going to be a mad one. Should ask Beth might be interested. She's interested. She can join now, but before we finish, go on, Chall. Yes, if any of you guys want to pop on just at the last second, just hit the StreamYard link in the description or at the top of the chat, then come on board. Let's get you on board. Let's get you on. Let's get you on the HMS Live. Choo. Oh yeah. But yeah, we've got there's some goals that I'd love to hit next year in terms of the channel itself. There's some wonderful goals that I'd love to hit. I mean, we're on kind of the 2.22 mark in terms of subs at the moment, nearly 2,230. So it'd be great to try and hit 5K by the end of next year, try and hit 10K by the end of next year, maybe. Try and get to the 500,000 view mark as well. Like I said, we're only 7K away from the 400,000 mark in total views. So we're not too far away now from that big 500,000. So it'd be great to hit that. Obviously, with more content coming throughout next year, it's going to be more of a chance of hitting that. So yes, I'm really, really excited about next year. Show us some Riz, Chall. Look at that. Look at the trim. Look at the trim. That's got Riz in itself. That's a Riz trim. That's a Riz trim. But yes, there we go, guys. I'm going to let you enjoy the rest of your new year. I'm going to enjoy the rest of mine. We are John Smiths on the couch. Couldn't wish for better. But for now, guys, I'm the CHALL. Ta-ra for now, and I will see you in 2024. Happy New Year.